Hello guys, once again welcome back. Today we have Husqvarna Vitpillion with us. Husqvarna offers two motorcycles. One is the Vitpillion and another is the Swart Pillion. In Vitpillion it gets with clip-on handlebars. The seating position on this thing is cafe racer type, and on this Swart Pillion we get with bobber seating position. The difference between the Vitpillion and Swart Pillion are majorly it gets with this clip-on handlebars. This handlebar is from KTM RC 200, and these are the upside down forks. And the second difference are tires. It gets with city oriented tires, but for the Swart Pillion it gets with all terrain tires. And the third major difference is color. It gets with vice versa. This color comes over here, and this color comes over here in the Swart Pillion. So only these are the three changes it gets with Vitpillion. Difference between the Vitpillion and Swart Pillion. This is the look of the bike. It's very simple, sleek. There are not many busy things going here and there. But I feel like this thing is overexposed. The wires are going here and there. If something KTM had done something over here, that would be really good. And this is this look of the bike. The bike looks very small in the second person perspective, but while riding it looks it feels okayish. It won't feel that small compared to the second person perspective. So let's start riding, and so let's turn on the bike. While turning it on, it does a full swipe, and this is the engine check light. This is the RPM light, RPM shift light, neutral, high beam, and ABS light. It gets with even Supermoto mode. Now it's in the road mode. In the Supermoto mode, what it does is it turns off the rear ABS. That will help while off-roading. So this is the exhaust note. The stand is down. So okay. This is the exhaust note. It sounds similar to the KTM Duke 50. This and the Duke 50 gets with the same engine, same chassis, and all same particles except the body and branding. On this thing, the ground clearance is a little bit issue. While crossing the speed breakers, it might hit the belly. So let's do a gear test. Let's stop in front. So let's get riding. Let's see how much it does in first gear. First gear 51, second gear 74, third gear 97. It's very impressive. It will easily cross 100 in fourth gear. And the first thing I have noticed when I sat on the motorcycle was the riding position. This thing won't feel so aggressive in the second person perspective, but when you get on it, it really feels aggressive, but not comparable to the super sports like R15 and RC. Those are more aggressive than this. This thing is only like we are leaning only we are only leaning on the handlebar, and the foot pegs also rear set. It's not so aggressive, but it till some extent it's aggressive. So, and it has so many Vitpillion and Husqvarna badgings on the bike. Now let's talk about the pickup. It gets with the same engine as Duke 250. It even produces the same power and same torque figures. This thing produces 24 Nm of torque and 30 PS of power at 9000 RPM. This and the horn is very funny, bro. Yes, this thing and Vitpillion also, Swart Pillion and Vitpillion also produce the same amount of torque and power figures. So let's talk about the pickup. Till 5000 RPM
it's very linear and it's very calm. But after crossing 5000 rpm, it really starts to scream. You can feel the power after the 5000 rpm and the high end power. That is where this thing shines. After crossing 80 to 90 kilometers per hour, it can easily reach to somewhere around 145 to 150. It can do the top speed of around 150 kilometers. Yes, you heard right. It can do the top speed of 150 kilometers per hour. And now I am cruising in the speeds of 100. It's a piece of cake to it. It can easily cruise 100 all day long. But this thing is not meant for clocking long distance kilometers. But you can do a small distance rides on this thing. You can clock easily around 2 to 300 kilometers without any problem. And brakes, it gets with slipper clutch. The clutch is very light. I feel like this thing is very light, and it gets with a slipper clutch. It gets with dual channel ABS. The rear ABS is it gets with dual channel ABS. We can turn off the rear ABS by switching it to supermoto mode, and it even shows the fuel range. It can now, it's in a full tank. It can clock 210 kilometers per hour. I feel this feature so useful, and it even offers two modes, trip A, trip B, and this is the RPM meter, this is the gear position indicator, and this is the speed, this is the engine temperature, time, and this is the fuel meter. Everything on this thing is everything on this bike is finished in circular shape. Most of the parts are finished in circular shape. What are these guys doing, bro? Okay, so now let's talk about the brakes. Brakes are good. They have good stopping power, but they don't have feedback in it. You don't feel the road while braking. And when you are trying to brake hard, you feel like you are going to fall from above the bike. And I fell in love with this riding position, because this is so addictive. You feel like you are riding a very premium motorcycle. Actually, this thing is very premium as well, but you don't feel like riding a 2 lakh motorcycle. This thing feels like a much expensive motorcycle than it is. And let's talk about the grip. The bike is very stable, even in the speeds of 130 and 140. It sticks to the road. It don't have that problem of jumping here and there. You can see easily I'm cruising at 100. It's a piece of cake to it. And the gearbox. Gearbox is quite noisy, I would like to say. Even if you try to shift very smoothly, it doesn't shift. It has a hard sound to it. So now let's talk about the lights. Lights are very powerful unless the oncoming traffic is there, or else it performs well. Most of the lights struggle while oncoming traffic. This thing also not exemption for that. And let's talk about the suspension. Suspension is hard on this thing, but that hard suspension make this bike to corner well. This thing is a charm while it comes to cornering. You feel very confident while cornering this bike. The first good thing what I liked about this thing is cornering ability. This thing corners very well, as I said. And the second thing what I like on this thing is seating position. This seating position makes you feel attached to the bike. That thing is very good. You feel that adrenaline rush. You feel that adrenaline rush because of this seating position more, because you are going to face more wind. Vibes. Let's talk about the vibrations. While it's redlining, vibes are all around. Like seriously, vibes are on the seat, vibes are on the foot pegs, vibes are around my thighs. Almost all the places have vibes. So now let's talk about the maneuverability. It's very hard to pronounce this word. Okay, whatever. It maneuvers very well. There is no problem while cutting through a sharp city traffic. It maneuvers very well. The bike is very short and wheelbase is also short, so it won't be a problem to maneuver in traffic. So now let's talk about the looks. The person who don't have much knowledge about the bikes, also take a look of this thing. This thing is a very attention seeker. This thing grabs attention very much. So on this note, let's end this video with a conclusion. Should you buy this thing or not? If you are planning to do a long distance touring and your plan is to travel long, go for the SWAT Pillion. And if you only do weekend rides and if you commute to one place A to place B, go for the Vic Pillion. And it's value for money. It's very attention grabbing. The design language is very good. These are the major things people tend to look while buying a new motorcycle. So it fulfills almost all the needs. So I would like to recommend you this Vic Pillion. So that's it for now, guys. Hope you liked my efforts. If you did, like this video and make that subscriber count to 4-digit number. So see you soon. Bye.